Okay. I want to thank all of you for coming out here this afternoon. I know it's Friday. You guys would rather be other places, but you guys are here, so I appreciate you guys coming out to help me out for this speech. The reason I have you guys here is I'm giving a speech about the facts about the Spurs. It's a part of my Speech 100 class, and there's 4 criteria. There's many criteria that we have to meet, but 2 in particular is I have to have 4 adults present, and I also have to have the speech run between 5 to 7 minutes. This speech, like I said, is about facts about the Spurs, and the reason I'm doing it right now is because the playoffs for the National Basketball League start tomorrow.
Oh.
Yes. And also on top of that, I'm sure you guys hear me talk about the San Antonio Spurs all the time, so you might wonder why I think they're so great. I'm not trying to persuade you and make you think they're the best. I'm just giving you facts about the organization itself. So with that said, the Spurs were actually started in 1967 as the Dallas Chaparrals, and then they ended up changing their names to the Texas Chaparrals. In 1973, the Texas Chaparrals were bought by Red McCombs. If you've ever been to San Antonio, you know exactly who that is. But the Texas Chaparrals were bought, and they changed their name to the San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs, originally, they played for the American Basketball Association, which I'll refer to as the ABA. And then in 1977, they were bought out. There was a big merger that happened, and then all the teams from the American Basketball League and the National Basketball Association, they got together, and then they formed the NBA. And that's currently the league that they play under today. So the Spurs, when they originally started as the Dallas Chaparrals, they played in the Dallas Convention Center, and they played there while they were also the Texas Chaparrals as well. Afterwards, when they moved to San Antonio, they started playing in the Hemisphere Arena, which is right downtown in the middle of San Antonio. After the Hemisphere Arena, San Antonio decided to make the Alamo Dome. The dome was used for the NCAA Final Fours, for basketball games, for high school football games, and college football games as well. In about 2001, the Chamber of Commerce got together and decided that they wanted to make an arena for the Spurs specifically. So they originally made the SBC Center, which is the Southwestern Bell Center. But then there was a buyout. AT&T bought out Southwestern Bell, and then they started naming everything after AT&T because that was the corporation. So today the Spurs play in the AT&T Center, which was, like I said, formerly the Southwestern Bell Center. The Spurs have won 4 championships. They won one in 1999, 2003, 2005, and 2007.
Twin Towers.
Yes, Twin Towers, and I'll get to that in actually just a moment. But so there's only 3 teams that beat the San Antonio Spurs in championships. One is the Lakers, one is the Boston Celtics, and the third one is the Chicago Bulls. This is George the Iceman Gervin. He was one of the San Antonio's best players way back when. He was actually the first player to win back-to-back scoring titles. To earn a scoring title, you have to beat everyone else in the league for points in one season. So he was actually the first player to have 2 back-to-back scoring titles, and he actually won 4 scoring titles altogether. And he is also part of the Hall of Fame. He has been inducted already. This is David the Admiral Robinson. He was the Rookie of the Year in 1989. He was also voted the league's most valuable player. He's won 2 championships and went to 10 All-Star games. So you're talking about Twin Towers, and yes, he was a part of it. He played with Tim Duncan, which is the next player I'll talk about. But when David the Admiral Robinson originally signed, he signed the contract, but he had to wait 2 years to fulfill his obligation to the Naval Academy. So that's why there's an asterisk by that 1987, and that's why he's dressed in that outfit. So this is Tim, Mr. Fundamental Duncan. He has 4 NBA championships. He was Rookie of the Year in 1998. He's won the league MVP 2 times. So he's joined a list of names along with Steve Nash and Michael Jordan to receive the MVP 2 consecutive years in a row. And he also has 16 All-Star Game appearances, which is 1 for every year that he's been in the NBA. Some other players on the Spurs: George Karl, Dennis Rodman, Robert Horry, Avery Johnson, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili still currently play for the Spurs. And there's more players, but those are just some of the main ones that I wanted to mention. This is Coach Greg Popovich. He's won 4 NBA championships with the Spurs. He's a 2-time Coach of the Year. And as of April 14th, he has 904 wins and only 421 losses. So he's obviously a good coach. With that said, some other notables I want to mention is for 10 years consecutive, Spurs had the highest winning percentage over any other team in the National Basketball Association, the National Football League, the National Hockey League, and Major League Baseball. So this is something to be very, very proud of. They're also the second all-time most winningest NBA team. The only one above them is the Boston Celtics. So, other than that, they've made the playoffs 32 times, and they've only not made the playoffs 4 times. Other than that, they have 6 division titles, and as of April 14th, they are currently number 2 in the Western Conference for the National Basketball League. And tomorrow they will be playing the Lakers for the first series for the playoffs. So, with that said, does anyone have any questions about the Spurs? No? Okay. Here's a list of references if any of y'all want to check what I said. It's all there. Most of it will be found at NBA.com. And I thank you guys once again.
Yeah, thank you.
6.
6. Okay.
It was right on time.